everyone, it's Hayls here, and today we've got a renovation of one of the builds in Copperdale. So I really wanted to have a go at doing a teen's bedroom, so that's kind of where I started with this build, and I created a family of there's the parents, and then there's a teenager and a younger daughter. So I thought this build wasn't too big, so it would be perfect for a smaller family. I wasn't really keen on the upstairs layout, so I decided to change all of that and move the stairs, just so that we could make it into a family home. And the front of the build doesn't change that much other than the colour. The colour, I wasn't keen on this this kind of like this stripy wood, but it looks really washed out, and I really liked the colour of the building next door, so I went with that colour and then added some brick detail as well. So I think the outside hasn't changed too much, as I said, just the colour, and the layout at the front hasn't changed really. It's the back of the building that changes more, because I extend the upstairs, and yeah, the kitchen actually ends up staying where it was. I did extend it, and then I thought it doesn't need to be that big. It's not a huge family, so they don't need like a massive kitchen. But the layout inside changes quite a bit, because it was very open, and I've kind of closed the rooms off a little bit more. I think it's probably a little bit more of a British design than an American one, but I kind of like the newer layout. I think it works a lot better. And I didn't really like the height of the wall as you go in, because you kind of can't see over it. I suppose it was just, it would stop noise and stuff. But yeah, I wasn't keen on it. So I went with this new layout, which is definitely not open plan, but I think it works for a family. So yeah, we've got the kitchen in the same place, pretty much the same layout. The table moves and the door moves. But otherwise the kitchen stays pretty much as it is, just a bit of a fresher look. It's a darker kitchen in there, but yeah, I think that ends up looking kind of, it suits the building, I think, because I've gone for a bit more of a modern style than maybe was there. And we've got some bright colours in here, which I like, because I sometimes I'll go for like the neutral colours, but this one I've gone bright in most of the rooms. I think the kitchen's probably the most conservative room that we've got. And I did originally go for these cheaper counters, but I ended up swapping them out for some darker counters, and I think they work well. I was going to put the dining table outside, but I thought with the weather in the Sims, it's probably not a good idea to just have the dining room outside. So I thought I'll try and incorporate it inside the kitchen, which it was originally anyway. I've just moved it slightly because of the door being moved. So yeah, we've got I was going to do it a bit like rundown, but I thought actually I want to do it like they've moved in and they've renovated the house, so the floor does end up changing to a bit more like a bit more stylish and just a bit cleaner. So I think I quite like using this floor with the two different shades, because it looks like a bit of a worn out floor that somebody's lived in and it's been well used. So I do like that for that kind of use. But this one, I think if they've just moved in and they're doing the house up, it's not going to look worn. It's going to look fresher and cleaner. So that's what I ended up going with the flooring. And then the walls, I've used one of the new tiles that we got with the high school years pack, just for the tiling, and then just some plain paint for the rest of the room. So it looks clean and just fresh, I think. Which and also this base game flooring, we've got some new swatches in, which I didn't realise, so that must have been in one of the updates, because it was just like the really pale cream swatch that we had. But yeah, we've got a few more. So this grey one I thought worked really well in here. So I really like that new swatch, and we've got a few more. I think we've got about 5 new swatches for that one. So it's a nice flooring, just really plain, but yeah, it's perfect for something like this where you don't want anything too fussy. So yeah, it's nice to know we've got some more swatches on some things. I don't know if they updated any of the other base game ones, but I was pleased to see that, because I do use that flooring actually quite a bit, and it's just a nice one if you want to place a rug over it, and it's quite plain, so it's quite versatile, which is what you want with different floorings, I think so anyway. This fireplace I don't use very much, but I did like this swatch and I thought it was perfect for a bit more of a vibrant build. So it was kind of, this room was kind of based around the fireplace. So yeah, we've gone really, really colourful in here. And I quite like the living room. I quite like blue and yellow together. I think it looks really nice and really modern. So yeah, we've got that. The kitchen, as I say, is probably the more muted room out of all of them. I wasn't sure what to do with this back wall, and I kept thinking I would like a fish tank with something surrounding it, but I just thought it looked too fussy. And also, I was trying to keep the cost down on this one. I didn't want to go too extreme because it's not the biggest house, so I didn't want it to be the most over budget one. But I haven't restricted it to the 20,000 the basic build when you first create a family and you've got 20,000 simoleons. So I have gone over that, but I haven't tried to spend too much on this one, even though it's quite a big renovation really. But I just wanted to keep it a bit more within reason of what you'd have if you was buying a build and doing it up. So yeah, they've increased the value a little bit, but it's not a ridiculous price. I think it's about 30,000 in the end. So it's not too over budget, but yeah, it's definitely not the starting price. It's yeah. So yeah, I think I think this room has turned out quite nice. This picture is really, it fits in with loads of different ones because of the different colour swatches. If you're doing like a themed colour, the longer picture goes really well with different colour themes. So this one went really well with like the blue and yellow. You've got like that lime green in there, which I think goes with the yellow and ties everything together. And I think this was when some of the creators did some items for The Sims 4. This side table came with it. So I like to use that one as well. I think that one fits in with loads of builds. The bathroom's really tiny, but I have used one of the new tiles, and it's probably a bit detailed for me because I usually go with just the base game black and white tile where it's black at the bottom third and then white at the top. I usually go for that, but I thought actually this one's a bit more colourful and quirky, so I've gone with this tile, which I quite like, and I hope I will try and use that one in more because I think it's quite pretty actually. And then I've gone with one of the new floorings, but you can use different swatches of it to get so you can line the whole outside of the room. It does take a little bit of time, but I actually think it's a really good idea because then you can frame your room with these tiles and then use the plain tiles in the middle. So it took me a little bit of time to figure it out, but maybe that was just me being not thinking it through properly. But yeah, I thought that was a really good idea. We haven't got as many like that, but I quite like the idea of framing the room with the tiles, and then it looks like you've got a separate tile in the middle. So that's kind of cute. This is the youngest child's room, so they've only got a really small room. I do have to move it around because I'd forgotten I've not added a window in here, so I do add a window at the end of the bed a bit later, and then the bed just switches to the other side. So the room has a little bit of a switch around, but the colours are all from this paper that we've got here, and then that, yeah, I just use the colours around the room. So it's in the rug, it's in the other, all the walls are different colours, and then the bed's not too colourful, but then we've got the colours in the different items. So the side unit's got one of the colours in. We've got the blue, although it's a darker blue, that one. I was going to go with one of the new curtains, but they're so bright, and I just didn't think it went with the pastel colours. I wish we had this, but in a pastel colour. That'd be really nice in this curtain. On the upstairs rooms, I did spend quite a long time cluttering them up just to make them look a little bit more lived in. I think with the teenager room, I could have probably cluttered it a bit more when I was looking back at the screenshots, but I have tried to. I think the youngest girl's room looks cluttered enough because it's only a small room. But yeah, when I was looking at the screenshots, I thought actually I've cluttered some areas of the teenage room, but I think it could have maybe had a bit more clutter in there. So yeah, just I suppose if you're going to use this build, you might want to add a few more clutter details in the front bedroom. Originally, I was going to have the parents' room at the front, but I created the balcony at the back, and I thought if there was, yeah, I thought they would want the balcony rather than the teenager having the balcony. So originally, the parents were supposed to be at the front, but I thought actually they can have the back room with the balcony. Although I've only put a yoga mat on the balcony, it's not probably the best used space in the house. So maybe if you do decide to download this build, you might want to add a couple more items on the balcony. But I was trying to keep the cost fairly um, fairly low. I didn't want to do like a really expensive build, so I have tried to not overly use some of the more expensive items in the game. So yeah, I think if you do want to download this build, that it's on my Sims gallery, which is Simmer Hills, and then if you do want to add some more items to it, I think you could definitely use some of the spaces more than I have. Like the garden is quite plain. I haven't added too much in the garden. Also, just to say, I've used all the items that I've got, so I haven't limited packs or anything like that. There is some of the kit items. I haven't got all of the kits, but I have one of the. I know the item in the garden, the fire pit, is from one of the kits. So if you haven't got the kits, you might not have that item. But yeah, I haven't limited packs in this build, so if you only have a few of the packs, you would need to replace some of the items. It would do it automatically for some of them, but yeah, you might need to replace some of them. The bigger teddy, the green one as well, or the teal blue one, that one is from one of the kits as well. So yeah, just something to think about if you do want to download this. So yeah, as I say, my gallery ID is Simmer Hills if you do want to download it. The parents' bedroom, I've gone with these purples and pinks. I think it's quite luxurious actually, this bedroom, and I really like the corner windows as well. I like that in a lot of the builds. This is the front bedroom, so this one I spent probably the longest on decorating, just because we've got all the new teenage pack items, so I wanted to use quite a few of them. Not all of the items in this room are from the new pack, but I have used quite a lot of the new pack in this room, and I do like some of the wall items that we've got. So we've got these pictures, but all the different swatches are like different things that they can have on the wall. So it's not just like one, it's not just a picture frame that's just been changed, the picture. You've got all different items in that. So I really like that one. I went for like this heart shaped of like Instagram photos, you know, like with the square photos. I thought that's perfect for a teenager. So I've gone with that behind the bed. I did size that one up as well to make it look like a feature on the wall. So they've maybe had the photos blown up. And then one of the new wardrobes, I really like this one. Some really nice swatches on it as well. And then we've gone for a desk and a chair, again from the new pack. We've gone for these wall pom-poms that we've got. I wanted to use these drapes because I think they're absolutely gorgeous, but I just didn't think it worked with this room. And also because they end up having a desk facing the bed, I thought if they are streaming, yeah, I just wanted to have like a feature wall background. So we've got lights and we've got the pictures and stuff in the background. So they've got quite a fun background if they're streaming, which I think teenagers and stuff, they do think about all those things now. So yeah, and we've used one of the new computers. I really like them. I think they're a lot more modern than any of the other ones we've got in the game. So I think these are a lot more realistic of what kind of setups kids have now. Maybe this is quite fancy for a teenager, I don't know, but I think it's definitely more realistic for what people use now. So I'm really pleased to see the new computers in the game. And then I've used some of the wall decorations that we got. I think these are only limited though. You can only get these for a limited time. So if you buy the game before, I think it's a date in September. I can't remember exactly, sorry, but yeah, there's three items. So there's the chair, there's the wall light, and there's another item which I can't remember. But there was three items that you got. I think it was the speaker, which is next to the light. So there's these three items. and they're only for limited time. So if you buy the pack before the date that they've said, you get these 3 extra items. I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I'm glad they're in the game. I just maybe don't think they should be limited, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't really see why they should be limited. I think if you buy the pack, you should just get them. But yeah, Sims logic. I just don't know. And then I've added like these Instagram lights just to the top of the background wall, just as like a little feature. So if they're filming, they've got this in the background. They've got the new mirror, and also I've got the AMD card with the mirror glitch. I did download a plugin. I think it's DL or D. It's got like 9 DL9. Anyway, if you Google it and you've got the AMD glitch, there is a plugin that you can download, and it fixes the glitch so that your mirrors reflect properly. And that's where I can find. The only thing is you can't use the screen, the color corrector. I've forgotten what it's called, which I did have downloaded. If you've got that, it doesn't work. So yeah, I wish there was like a permanent fix to it, but there isn't. But there is a plugin that does fix this issue. So it is a workaround, and at least the mirrors work properly, because I was really not liking putting mirrors in my build, because it was like you was looking through them to the outside, and you could see the roof and stuff through them, so it just didn't look right. But now they're working properly, so I'm happier to use them. But apparently AMD won't do anything about it, and the Sims won't. So it seems like, because The Sims is an older game, they don't want to do anything about it. AMD don't want to do anything about it because it's older, and The Sims, it's maybe not enough people who are affected. It's only the newer AMD graphics cards that are affected. So yeah, you're in a bit of a catch-22 with that one, but it is frustrating really, because you've spent a lot of money on the game and obviously on your graphics card as well, but they're not willing to do anything about it. So yeah, it's frustrating, but at least there is some kind of workaround. I've used one of the older mirrors for this room. I think it looks a little bit more elegant for the adults room, and just added some curtains. So yeah, this one I think is probably the more elegant room. The teenagers is more fun, and then you've got the kids room, which I think is really cute. The little, it's like a little box room, but I think it's really cute. So they've all got their own little style. I think with this deep reddy burgundy wall, I think this back room looks really luxurious. So I was really pleased with that room. For the hallway, because it's only small, I've just put a rug down, and I thought, well, that's enough for there, because it's only small. I haven't put wall decorations and stuff in that room. And then I had to line these lights up, which was really hard to do by eye. So I've sized lights up and kind of tried to create a line across, just so that I could line the lights up properly. And then yeah, that's the build nearly finished. So I hope you've liked this one. If you do like the video, please like and subscribe, as it really does help me out and gets my videos noticed a little bit more. So it'd be nice to have a little community on here of people who like building in The Sims 4. So I hope you've liked it. I've got some screenshots coming up, and I've done these ones slightly different. I have added the original build, because I do really enjoy doing renos. Actually, it's probably my favourite type of build to do in The Sims 4. So I have added the original build, and then I have added the new pictures as well, so you can kind of compare what we started with to what we've ended up with. So I hope you like these screenshots, and I'll see you in the next build. Take care everyone, have a great week. Bye!